Hey, my name is Ken Corsini. I'm with my good friend.
Hi, I'm Amy Pedersen.
And we're here in front of 999 Jep Wheeler Road on behalf of
Refuge Baptist Church.
So we're going to take you on a quick walking tour. So the property itself is 10 acres. So just to give you a quick backstory, we bought this 2 years ago. It was 18 acres. And we subdivided 8 acres and actually built 4 estate houses right next door. But the church remains on 10 acres. And we've actually put our office in here for the last couple of years, but the plan was to always sell it to a church. And yesterday morning, out of the blue, Amy calls me up and basically says she's got some friends, they've got a church, they're looking for somewhere to land.
I call it divine intervention. There was nothing short of that, right? I met with these guys the other day. We were talking about building on some new land and site development, civil engineering, negotiating and zoning and all of these things. And we were just talking about wouldn't it be great if there was a church that was available for sale. These are kind of hard to come by, right? Like I'm in real estate.
Not a lot of churches just hanging around ready for a purchase.
I can do a lot of house deals, but finding a church for sale is a little bit harder. So on a whim, I knew these guys had rehabbed this place and, we're using it for Red Barn Homes headquarters. But Ken and I are friends and it seemed like it was worth a shot anyway. So I texted him out of the blue.
And the timing was great because we do have temporary offices out of here, but the plan was to move out of here and find a good local church to move into the space. And we actually hadn't listed on our local MLS yet, and she kind of beat me to the punch and came over yesterday, and everybody seemed to like it. So we're going to give you a quick walking tour of what the church looks like. Big picture, again, it's on 10 acres. The building itself is, we haven't officially measured it, but between different tax records, it looks like it's between 6,000 and 7,000 square feet. And there's also an outbuilding. It used to be a pavilion that we closed in, and we actually use it as a warehouse, so it's quasi-finished space, and that's another 2,000 square feet, which we'll show you in a second. But I guess to start this thing, we'll take you inside the church and show you the sanctuary, the foyer, the offices, the kitchen, all the good stuff. So here's the foyer, and the reason we've got all these chairs in here is because we've actually been renovating the sanctuary. We did some work on the sanctuary, so all the pews, actually it's chairs, came out, and that's why you see them stacked everywhere. But one of the things we did in this foyer, we did board and batten on the walls, made this nice desk as you come in to greet people. You've got back there, you've got the kitchen, fellowship area. Back here, all your classrooms and offices. So I figure first thing we'll do is maybe we go into the sanctuary.
Fantastic.
Okay.
So you think about registration desk, you come right in, your welcome desk, you've got your crew right there ready to go.
Absolutely. So this is the sanctuary. It currently seats about 150 people. That's how many chairs we have set up. As you can see, it's obviously in renovation right now. We actually wanted to do some structural supports to the place. So you'll see we've put this new beam in, new posts in, just secured it, wanted to make sure that it was structurally sound, which now it is, but we haven't put it back together. So there's a handful of things you guys could do in this space. You could go carpet, you could go hardwood flooring, for the ceiling. We even thought about doing like a tongue and groove. Wood, or you could just go back with sheetrock. So there's a couple different options here. But you'll see back there is your sound booth. So somebody back here would run sound.
And then from a practical standpoint, let's represent the moms and the babies, right? So upstairs, you could easily make this into a cry room, open up that window right there and have, people participate in the service, right? Without having to worry about, kid noise and that sort of stuff. And let's not discount the ladies' room and the gentleman's room here. These are important parts of any good church congregation because we want people to stay for a long time. So we've got to meet all of the needs here.
Well, and there's an entrance too. So people, if you wanted folks to come in through the sanctuary, you'll see that there's a stained glass front door.
Love that.
People could come right in through the front.
Think about all the brides coming down through here, right?
It's perfectly.
All the brides.
It really is perfectly set up for what. And actually, interesting story. One of our backup plans for this place was thinking, let's just make it a wedding venue because it's perfect for renting out on the weekends for weddings. We actually even bought some equipment and whatnot just for wedding rentals. So something to think about. But again, the seat's about 150, stages up there, a lot of things you could do with the stage, one of which on either side of the stage, it's covered in black right now, but there's windows there. If you really wanted to brighten it up, you could actually take those off and have windows to the outside.
And they're crosses. I don't know if you've noticed that from that on the back. You can see the window structure. It's beautiful.
But again, I know it looks a little bit in disarray. It doesn't need as much as you think it does. Basically just flooring and then sheetrock and insulation.
The problem is you guys are OCD about your structure stuff, and so this is probably overdone.
Oh, it is. It's absolutely overdone.
And I know it's intimidating, right? Because for people like us, when you see big rafters like this, and it's like, oh my gosh, this feels like a lot of work. To builders like Ken, this is nothing, right? You come in here, you throw down the great, flooring of your choice, right? And we can talk about what that might look like. I know we have to negotiate that through, right? Because carpet is a different ask than hardwoods, for example.
Right.
But sheetrock is not a big deal in your world. Yeah,
right.
Yeah, exactly. For me, I hired out.
Yeah, that's right. Well, here's the other thing I was going to point out too is you've already got a handful of lights up there, but we also have sound equipment that currently runs under the floor and comes up in the back. And I'm talking top-notch sound equipment, state-of-the-art. Now, you're going to have to hire somebody to come in here and probably just rerun it and hook everything back up. But we've got soundboards, very expensive soundboards, mics, speakers, lights. I mean, everything. It's really sort of a plug and play. You just need somebody to do the plugging.
And the bonus is we've already talked to Ken about including that into the sale.
Yep.
So it's...
What am I going to do with all that?
Well,
I don't have a church, right? It belongs in a church.
It does. It does.
All right, you're going to move on to
let's go to the fellowship hall.
So this is the fellowship hall. Tile floor. Could probably fit a good 40, 50 people in here. And again, we put the board and batten on the walls. TV up here. Plenty of tables. You could do meals here or whatever. And it also connects to a full-blown commercial kitchen in here, which you can follow us into.
And I think initially this is going to be a temporary fellowship hall for the church because they might use it for coffee on Sunday mornings and informal gathering. But the way we really see your current warehouse is where the real opportunity for the potential growth is converting that into fellowship hall. So we're going to need to talk about putting bathrooms out there. Okay. We're going to need to talk about kitchen and those kinds of things. But for the time being, this is fabulous. Come check out this buffet line.
Yeah.
I'm all about the food. See, both sides, you can, serve right down on either side. You feed a ton of people coming through.
It's good old-fashioned Wednesday night.
Yes.
Bring it all buffet.
Right, and then of course we Ken's including the tables and the chairs with the sale. So you've got 5 or 6 round tables ready to go and put right out here.
We have tables everywhere. We're up to our eyeballs in tables and chairs too. We got square tables, we got rectangle tables, we got round tables. We got it all.
Over here in the corner, you've got your obligatory water fountains, of course, hiding behind your generator, which everybody needs a generator.
Who doesn't? I mean, every church needs a generator. You'd never know this was a construction office, right?
Yeah, never.
And this is another exit. Again, we're just storing a bunch of our stuff here, but through the fellowship hall gets you to the back. And then if you can peek out there, you can see where the warehouse is. So this is from the foyer. You walk in, and we got about 7 offices and classrooms, depending on how you want to use them. This actually was, when we bought the church, this was the original church office, was right in here. Now we got a lot of our sound equipment stored in there. And then over here, we sort of use this as a conference room. This was a children's room at the time. It actually opens up into the fellowship hall as well. It's getting brighter. There we go. That helps.
So can they make their design selects here from the wall? Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Teasing you.
I know. Everything's got a price tag in.
I know.
Here's another one of our offices.
Shopping in the storage.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
And then before you get any too much farther, this is another entrance. This is another entrance to this actually opens to the front parking lot as well. And then you've got his and her bathrooms here as well. So you get 2 sets of his and her bathrooms. Another set of offices back here.
And here are some of Red Barn Homes' construction projects as well, in case anybody needs a modern farmhouse. Now, I'm going to say, I know you guys were looking at making this into a bridal suite and for the concept of the weekend wedding thing. I've already discussed this with Dr. Gerald, so the only thing in here that would not be included is this lovely love is patient, love is kind part, because that part's coming with me. So nobody get too attached to that. We've already negotiated that. So that's coming home.
That's actually our designer, Sage.
Oh, is it?
She did all this. She's amazing.
Oh, wow.
She's
she did?
a really good artist. And then you got your last big sort of classroom back in here. or office, depending how you want to use it. So this is the back deck. Basically, if you walk through the foyer straight out, you come onto this deck, which is a great just sort of congregating area. Again, if you were going to do weddings, this is a great place to put some high top tables just for people to congregate. But this is a great way to the back, and I'll be honest, the backyard, I guess you could call it, to me, it's stunning. It's just wide open, it's green. And then we'll walk back around, and there's a basement down there that we'll show you as well.
So let's not forget the new roof. I know it's not nearly as pretty and fun as board and batten, and
but it's not cheap.
It's not cheap.
So we just put this roof on the building, so you get a brand stinking new roof.
Architectural shingles, and it's really, really well done.
Yeah. So this is the basement, and I think the church that we bought this from, they were using it as a youth area, which I think would be a great youth area. We actually ping pong table here. I mean, you could easily get 20, 30 kids down here, don't you think?
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, you know, kids, teens, they want to have their own space, right? They want to have their hangout zone. And I love this because it feels like, you know, you can have a little elbow room, you can bump and bruise, but they still have the outdoor space up here. They can overflow into the deck. But really, this is a great place to worship and have small group, you know, in their own four walls.
Yeah, I think it's fantastic. And actually, some of the wires that are running through here actually are the speaker components. Again, this is like state-of-the-art sound equipment for the upstairs sanctuary. So actually, we were told at one point in time there was a school that was operating out of here, and they had trailers that sort of sat up right here on this last bit of asphalt, and they'd put in a septic system right here. So for expansion, it's actually just bring out some trailers, plunk them in, and you've got your sewage system taken care of, which I know is not super exciting, but practical. And then again, over here is this is the pavilion that we closed in and turned into just sort of finished off warehouse space for us is what we're using it for, but it's got endless opportunities to be whatever you want it to be.
And we have to show that space.
You have to show that.
Okay, good. All right. I'm like,
it's all our junk.
because it feels like my basement where my staging stuff and storage is and all of that. So it makes me extraordinarily happy to know that people have this on a much larger scale. This is like the skeleton in the closet, so it's super fun for me. I shouldn't.
Full-blown junk collection.
We can just test drive this thing. I think it works.
I bet it works. Amy's going to test out the slide for us.
I don't know.
Hey, can you sign this waiver real quick?
Right. All right, here we go.
All right, does it work? Does it work? Hey, there it is.
Works. It works.
Man.
Sold.
She didn't get hurt. It didn't break.
Right? And I'm only
thrilled.
quasi-embarrassed myself. That's important.
You're going to want to wash those pants later.
A little pollen. That's all right.
So this is a built-in basketball court. Nice big flat pad for kids to play on. And actually, if you'll follow me, there's a pretty cool little amphitheater over the edge. So again, this is 10 acres. So it goes really far into the woods. I mean, the property line actually goes fairly far into there. But there's a great fire pit and a little amphitheater down here as well. Do services, do youth, do whatever down here.
I mean, I'm just thinking, and I don't know how far the property goes back, but like, how fabulous would it be to have a big wooden cross right down here and the big bonfire, right, and the worship service out here with the teens and just, you know, praise and worship, right, and songs, and then just to have that with the beautiful seasonal decor around it and flowers, like, just warms my heart.
Yeah, lots of potential here. And there was at one time, there was a little path, a little trail that kind of went through the woods and actually wrapped around the entire property. And there was like, you could stop and there was scripture along the way, kind of along the path. So it's still there somewhere. We'd have to go searching for it.
Well, and I'm envisioning like some outdoor lights here and some of that kind of crisscross where you could convert this and pull it down, obviously use it for basketball space and fun and, you know, athletic stuff. But I mean, you could easily convert this to a picnic area and just, you know, overflow for Easter. I mean, you guys are going to have to prepare for growing and what that's going to look like.
Yeah. So this was originally a pavilion for the church, and so the ceiling was here, the ceiling fans were here, the posts were here. We basically just came in and insulated it and put walls in it. And so sort of overnight it became a warehouse for us. And these walls right here aren't structural, so just picture a big, giant, open space that you could configure however you wanted to. And it's over 2,000 square feet. So picture a 2,000 square foot building that you just kind of put the walls where you want them.
Well, we were talking the other day about maybe having a museum and how there could be a section here for with external entrance maybe for some of your other guests to come through and really pay tribute as well as making this into a larger fellowship hall opportunity, right? So bathrooms, of course, would need to be included. We'd want to put a kitchen of some sort, in here as well. But you have major potential to immediately grow out here.
What we are witnessing is the very presence and the supernatural provisions of God. Because Refuge Church is a tithing church, the Bible says in the last book of the Old Testament, Malachi, that when you tithe and bring the tithes into the storehouse, that there will be meat in your house, that there will be provisions made. The Lord said, prove me now and see if I won't open the windows of heaven and pour you out blessings that there will not be room enough to receive. Here you are. Without room to receive, God has opened up the windows of heaven and providentially handed a place, a home for our ministry. And I hope that you will look more with your supernatural spiritual eye than with your natural eye and see that this is clearly the hand of God. This is clearly God making a provision for His ministry. The truth of the matter is, our congregation is probably 85 to 90% senior citizen, or almost there if we're talking about 55 and up. 30 to 40 years it would take for us, with our few number, to come and build something like this. You and I, realistically, may not have 30, 40, or 50 years left. I see that God is putting this ministry on the fast track, enabling us to accomplish right now what it would take years to do, because this is a sign that He has great kingdom work for us to do. So He's taking care of this stuff, and we will take care of His kingdom and His people. I hope you have enjoyed this tour. I hope you have enjoyed how the Lord has spoken to Ken's heart and Amy's heart, and now let Him speak to your heart. This is our finest hour in Christ Jesus, and I hope that you will see it from a spiritual point of view. God bless you.